Hey, I find a lot of my satires in motion pictures. And if you're a motion picture fan, if you want to, like, make the movie scene every night, the best place is 42nd Street, which I also filmed some footage. Can you roll that stuff I shot on 42nd Street? Oh, that's the Den. That's where I work. Yeah, that's cool. No, that was the Den, by the way. That's not on 42nd Street. That's on 38th Street and Madison Avenue. That's right, isn't it? Eddie Leipzig. That's right. That's 38th Street and Madison Avenue, the Den. That happens to goof with film, you know, because it's not that much time to swing it, and I think they're brilliant for what they're doing. The Den is a very cool kind of a place. I'm there, and they've got a wonderful singer, Pat Scott, good jazz group, and, I'm going to be there till the 10th. Oh, over there. No, now we're on 42nd Street. That's solid. Okay. Good. Open time. There was a goof in the film, which is kind of obvious. That was the Den, and the other footage was 42nd Street. We shot that on a Sunday, and the place that you saw featured was Hubert's Museum, and also another friend of mine. Now, the friend isn't the book, but I'm going to serve it as sort of an intro. This was written by a brilliant illustrator, and his name is Bill Ballantyne, and he's a cartoonist. And this guy's real hung on circuses. And he travels anywhere, Guatemala, the littlest towns, and he's always there with the circuses, and he wrote this book. Now, I like to read, you know, so I read the book, and the thing that wigged me out is that in the book is a guy that I met. I never met him, but my mother took me to see him, the first time. She was a waitress. She was working in Greenpoint, and my mother and father, were divorced, you know, so I used to visit my mother on the weekends. So I always used to schlep her, bring me down, I want to go to Hubert's Museum. That's on 42nd Street. Been there for years and years. And the guy that just thrilled me, this I'm 11 years old, is the gentleman I'm going to introduce. And I come back, it's been let's see, 11, I'm 34 now. It's a long time, the guy's still there, a beautiful person, and his name is Professor Roy Heckler, and he trains fleas. Can you see, Roy? I can't see the monitor there. That's cool. Yeah, good. I'm honest to God, of all the people on the show, this will sound maybe facetious, but I'm thrilled to have you here because I know you the longest. And I'm not going to bug you, literally, but I know that you train fleas, but I just want to do one thing first. So they know that there's this is credible and it's not just a shuck. I want to show one of the fleas. Can you see one of them? Can you go to... Can you see him moving there? You can see him moving. That's beautiful. Okay, now we established that they are trained fleas. And I just would like to ask you a few questions.
Really?
Exactly. Number one, you train the fleas. Let's establish first, where do you get the fleas?
Well, the fleas I use are a European strain from the Mediterranean. It's called the human flea, the Pulex irritans. And the reason I use them is they're the longest-lived fleas. I can keep them alive 5 to 6 months, where an ordinary dog or sand flea you can only keep alive, maybe 5 or 6 weeks tops.
Excuse me a moment, may I?
Yeah.
You said ordinary dog or sand flea. These are not dog fleas?
No, this is the human flea. It's very common in southern Europe. Even the finest hotels have them, not that they want them.
Actually, not putting on. These are human fleas.
Yes.
Well, what is the difference between the human flea and the animal flea? Why do you prefer it?
Well, I prefer them because I can keep them alive 5 to 6 months. And it takes me at least 3 weeks to train them. And if they only lived about 6 weeks, I wouldn't get any work out of them. So I use the longest-lived flea, the Pulex irritans.
That's beautiful. I really love it. How do you train them?
Well, we have to form habits in them. First, we put fleas in a glass tube. And whether we can catch him or not...
Excuse me, may I interrupt? I want the camera really to be on him, because it's very interesting, and I'm of no purpose in the shot, so I'm going to move out, and you take it away, Professor.
Okie doke. Now, First phase in training a flea is to break it from hopping. I place one in a glass tube, and every time he hops, he bumps himself. He soon finds it a useless attempt. He commences to walk, crawl, or keep quiet. Then the collar is placed around his neck, and he is ready for further training. Fleas harness to vehicles next, running a race. There is Napoleon Bonaparte with his cannon, Marcus and Caesar with their Roman chariots. All right, boys.
It's beautiful.
Wake up now and keep moving. Not as exciting as a horse race, but they get there just the same. And in pulling these vehicles, come on, Napoleon, they pull from 100 to 300 times their own weight. No way to punish them. The worst you can do is just tickle them a little, and they're not very ticklish. They could tickle you more than you could tickle them. Caesar takes the lead. Napoleon is second. Marcus also ran. Prince Henry next, the flea that juggles the ball. That's Benny. That looks like Henry. All right, Henry, pick up a ball, take a big one. Now turn it over nicely and keep it moving. It takes a man from 2 to 3 years to learn to juggle an object with his feet. Didn't take Henry long. Keep it rolling, Henry. But he has somewhat the advantage having 6 legs, while a man is only 2. Just a little more now, a little bit. All right, Henry, put it down. We'll have Cousin Charlie kick it for us. Cousin Charlie, the football player, most Americanized flea in the collection, played on one of the leading college football teams. That's the way, Charlie. Hold it, hold it. Kick it again. Pick it up and kick it. A little more snap now. All right, Charlie. Hold it. The Flea Hotel, showing how they are kept when not working. Their feet entangled in cotton or wool. Those that are not working are fed once daily, while the workers are fed twice. They are human fleas. They live on human blood only. They feed just the same as a mosquito. They draw the blood right from the person. We just place them on a volunteer's arm, and they help themselves. They're not a bit bashful. All they need is the opportunity. Rudolph, the strongest flea in the collection, operating a merry-go-round many hundred times his own weight. A flea weighs on the average of 1/5 of a grain. This little merry-go-round weighs somewhat over an ounce, which is in the same proportion as a man weighing 150 pounds, moving a weight of 200 tons. A little more, Rudy, around the home stretch now. Rudolph sprained one of his ankles.
Pushing an OZ.
Just a moment. Hold it. All right, Rudy. The dancing fleas next. Dressed in their little costumes, dancing to music. There is Fifi and Peaches, dressed in the old-fashioned hook skirts. They could not wear hobble skirts because they have too many feet. Now, when one is able to place a dress on a tiny thing like a flea, small enough to permit them to walk and waltz like these little fellows, they will not believe you. But you can send them down to Hubert's Museum on 42nd Street, and we'll try to convince them of the fact. Now, this is all for the little fellows at this time. I thank you for your very kind attention.
I want to hug the flea. That's wonderful. I really love that. That's beautiful. I really appreciate you coming down and doing that for me. I think that we're... are we on? That's really weird, right? The guy says, well, go to black, and then you really egg on your face, and then there's no sincerity. But there really is sincerity. And that's... I just want to reiterate once again, because it's just too much to go down and see him. Too much, speaking in a hip idiom, which isn't too correct. But I want you to see him. He's on 42nd Street between 8th Avenue...
7th and 8th.
7th, and he's a delightful gentleman and has a wonderful show. And honest to God, I'm very happy that you came, and thank you.
Thank you, Lenny.
Thank you. It's kind of tough to follow the Fleas, so I figured that I'd throw a commercial or a station break or something in that spot. Would sort of make it, I'll help you with it.